After about 7 or 8 months of trying to get someone to go in with me, with lots of people saying they would, and just never getting around to it, never doing it. And the first month alone after Natalie disappeared, I already had to deal with Dual County, Nebraska, because they had not done their jobs. When I was being threatened, harassed, and assaulted to the point that I was suicidal, I had had enough by the time I went to Virginia, and I only went there because Natalie requested it. Threatened suicide and then attempted suicide because I wasn't there fast enough. A lot of the people I stayed with after, it was very volatile situations. That's how it is when people are on chemicals. It doesn't matter if it's prescription pills, opioids, alcohol. Alcohol is by far the worst in my opinion, and all the rest of these are so terrible. But alcohol has killed more people I care about than all other drugs combined. And I know a lot of people who died of those other drugs too. What I'm dealing with now is that people just didn't understand. They didn't understand that when the mentally ill tag is thrown on you, the police won't listen. And when somebody else goes to speak on your behalf, they say that they can't listen to them. It has to come from me. So I need someone to go in with me in person. After 7 months of promise after promise, broken. 7 months of people saying, yeah, Sean, I'll help. Who never did. They tried to help, but they tried to help how they thought I needed, without listening to what I was going through, without trying to understand how I felt emotionally and still do. But then when they have those emotions, I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person for saying, hey, I still need your help. Your excuses at this point are bullshit. Saying I can't. That's because you never tried. Did you ever once try going in with me to make the police take a report? Only one person ever did. That was Molly Smith. With Miss Peaches, she kept saying she was gonna, but she made it impossible. 7 months. 7 months of hell for things I didn't do. By that time, I had already spent almost 2 years trying to get a court date. Well over a year at least. I needed this stuff to stop. I needed these animals to call off the dogs. What animals might those be? Alycia Bollinger, Natalie Bollinger, and Maddie Boa. All three of them knew the things that I was going through. I didn't deserve. I didn't do those things. I shouldn't be punished as one of those people. And that's why I exposed the people who did those things. A lot of people offered to help and just never came through. One of these people was Mandy Hughes. She said a few times she would go in with me. She said a few times that she would make a report, and every time it was excuse after excuse why she couldn't. Now maybe they're valid reasons, but my reasons are valid and I keep getting them called excuses. Sean, you're making excuses. No. I need help. I don't make other people make empty promises. I don't make them become selfish until it's happening to them. Many of the people who turned a blind eye to what was happening to me and knew that I didn't deserve it, they wouldn't come forward because they were afraid of the same things I was. And you know what? Those things happened. Those things are happening to many of them, and they want me to feel bad for them now. Well, I do. I do feel bad for you, but did you feel bad for me when it was happening to me? Enough to do anything? Because I want you to think about it. If I'd have been able to fight this in court because you came forward instead of being a coward, then I would be able to stand up in your court dates. I'm fighting this fight the best I can without the support that most of you have, support that you take for granted. Me, I got screwed. People wanted to give me help when it was far too late for the help that they wanted to give. The help that I needed all along was a place where I could receive mail and not have to constantly move. Homelessness, you cannot defend yourself as a homeless person. The jails, the laws, they're all set up so that if you have no money, you have no rights. You have no money for the telephone, you're screwed. When you're in jail, they don't allow you to look at the evidence. You might get to meet with your public pretender for 5 minutes before court. Maybe. They'll tell you repeatedly that they're going to show up to meet with you beforehand, and they just don't. All of my public pretenders did this without telling me they weren't going to show up. Without any notification whatsoever. And then there's these people who you can tell they're lying to you because they leave it open-ended. Oh, I'll call you. When? When are you going to call me? Are you honestly going to do that? Are you going to make that effort? Probably not. And then you're going to go out of your way to take things as badly in texting as possible. Or are you going to play head games like Rachelle, Campbell, and Kera Johnson? I have something written down from Shannon Alvarado. It's a statement about at least part of the Wyoming trip. She told them how to hurt me, and that's exactly what they did. And they lied to her, same as they lied to me. They said, we'll never do that. Sure enough, they did. Shannon's also writing one up about the Kera Johnson thing. What that woman did was immoral, illegal, and wrong. I need Laura Nelson to write down about that trip, my grandmother's funeral. Graham is a coward who hides behind the Jesus. He's a sinner just like anyone else, likes his booze, likes his weed. Does that make him a bad person? If something is illegal, does that make it okay morally? Like you becoming drunk and volatile. Is that morally okay just because it's legal? I had some evidence stolen. The police knew that there was evidence on there against other police officers. There was also evidence on that computer against them, and they're trying to get it shipped to Colorado. Fuck the police everywhere. We should have been killing them all along. Problem is, I'm against killing. I think the purpose would be served better if they were arrested, incarcerated, and for the ones who aren't above saving, retraining. People do desperate things because they're in desperate situations. The help that the Bollingers got from the media, from the police, the wrongs that they committed against me. because they wanted to help out Natalie's actual predators like Tim Beeson, Ted Bollinger, Rose M. Kelly, Troy. Both of her boyfriends that she had at the time of her death. Her sister. The people who fed her that heroin. The people who fed her that meth. It was free to her. She was young and she was pretty, and she knew it. She knew how to use it, same as her sister. I'm pretty and I'm a girl. Feel sorry for me. I'm not going to feel sorry for you. You did drugs and destroyed an innocent man's life because doing those drugs was more important than coming forward with the truth. Alycia Bollinger, you belong in prison, but right now, I'm after your mom first. I'm going to see to it that she spends some time locked away and understands what she did to you girls was just as wrong as what your dad did.